people here today to speak, and I'd like to introduce to you guys Dr. Anahe Jackson. She is a naturopathic physician and provides homeopathic care to families across Washington, Oregon, and California. In addition to maintaining her private practice, she spends a lot of time empowering families through online homeopathy classes so that they can take control of their own family's health. For Anahe, choice is simple. Quote, "Give me medical freedom or give me death," unquote. Let's give her medical freedom. I kind of like her, I don't want her dead.
Hello everybody. I am incredibly honored to be standing with all of you. And I have to say that over the last year, the love that I have for this country has exponentially grown. And I am so incredibly thankful for our forefathers and what they put forth when it came to the Constitution, when it came to the Bill of Rights. And I see how important our freedoms are because they're being taken away. And so I want to invite all of you to choose freedom over fear. And that is my motto for my talk, freedom over fear. So I want to recap the last 6 months of our life. So there is this big, bad, scary, dangerous virus that has ravaged the earth as we know it. And no matter what we do, no matter how healthy we are, no matter what age we are, whether we're young or we're old, it doesn't matter. The only thing we can do is hide in our homes, hide in our apartments, not go to work. And that is what we call the germ theory of disease. That is what our health agencies operate under, is the notion that no matter what we do, we are all at risk, we can get sick, and we can die. And like I said, that is the germ theory of disease, and that is an old paradigm that needs to shift. The germ theory was actually made by a gentleman, Louis Pasteur, 160 years ago. And it's the theory that microbes and germs create disease and infections. And while Louis Pasteur was right, he was missing a huge part of the puzzle. And that part that he was missing was the susceptibility of the individual. That the way we live our lives, the way, the food we eat, what we do to our bodies, whether we exercise, whether we smoke, all of those things determine how susceptible we are and how healthy our terrain is. And so the terrain theory needs to rule, not the germ theory. And it was really fascinating because on Louis Pasteur's deathbed, he actually said, "I was wrong. The germ is nothing, the terrain is everything." He said that on his deathbed. And so I'm here to let you all know that you are in the driver's seat when it comes to your health. And I want you to know how powerful what you do changes your susceptibility to get sick. And even if you do get sick, it changes how quickly you get over that sickness. And I can tell you, as a physician, I've seen this hundreds of times, where one person will get sick in the family and all the other family members don't. Why is it that some people get sick and others don't? Why is it that some people get over an illness like that, and then it takes other people months to get over something? That is the terrain and the health of that individual person's body. So I want to go over 2 things that you can do right now that I tell all of my patients to do to help increase your terrain and support your immune system. The first thing that I want to say is one of my favorite things, and that is to eat fermented foods. And you're probably thinking, what does that have to do with my immune system? That has everything to do with your immune system, because 80% of your immune system actually lives in your digestive tract. And it is that dance between the microbes and your immune cells that happens, that trains and strengthens your immune system. As a human adult, we actually have 10 pounds of bacteria that live in our digestive tract. We are outnumbered by bacteria 10 to 1. All the bacteria that live in and out of us outnumbers us. So we are walking bacteria people. So we need to keep our microbiome healthy, and the way we do that is to eat fermented foods. And there was actually a study that came out July of 2020. They looked at all of the European countries, and those that eat more fermented foods, they concluded for each gram per day increase in the average national consumption of fermented vegetables, the risk for COVID-19 mortality fell by 35%. That is how incredible eating these fermented foods are for our body. So real sauerkraut, not the one that is in the aisle, but the one in the fridge with salt and cabbage, sauerkraut, kombucha, kefir, yogurt, beet kvass, whatever takes your fancy, you need to eat that. Another thing, vitamin D. Our beloved NIH director, Dr. Fauci, recently came out and said that he takes vitamin C and vitamin D, and that strengthens his immune system. Where, Dr. Fauci, where were you 6 months ago? Why did it take you so long to say that? Why isn't that up on the CDC website for me as a physician to go and read about? I checked, it's not there. I checked this morning. So vitamin D is incredible for our immune system. A study published in 2017, it was a meta-analysis that looked at a myriad of studies, concluded vitamin D supplementation was safe and it protects against acute respiratory tract infection. In fact, a study published 2 weeks ago concluded COVID positivity rates are strongly and inversely associated with circulating vitamin D levels. So if you have high vitamin D levels, your chances of having a positive COVID test significantly decrease. Why aren't our health agencies talking about this? Now I can go on and on about all the different, natural medicines and supplementation and lifestyle changes that you can take, but I'm here to encourage you all to do that research yourself, because you are in the driver's seat when it comes to your health. And I know that there are so many moms and dads and caretakers listening to me right now. And I know that you spend so much time researching the foods that your baby eats and the toys they play with and what ingredients are in their bedding material. You spend so much time researching that. And so I want to draw your attention on this very important act that was passed in Oregon in 2015, the Toxic Free Kids Act. And what this act did, it was a law that requires manufacturers of kids' products to label their products if they contain one or more high priority chemicals of concern for children's health. Now this was a really important act, because let's say you have a baby and they're chewing on a wooden toy, and that toy contains formaldehyde, a known poisonous substance. Well, you want to know about that. And not only do you want to know, but good for your baby, because your baby, when they chew on something or they breathe something in, they have natural defense mechanisms that limit the amount of that toxic chemical that's absorbed into their bloodstream. But unfortunately for your baby, 3 of the chemicals on that list, high priority chemicals of concern for children's health, are contained in 32 of the 64 vaccinations that we give our babies and children. So when you bypass the protective mechanisms and barriers of the body and you inject directly into the bloodstream, You absorb 100% of what you inject. And so I don't say this to make you scared or freak you out, but I say this to encourage you to expand your research to everything that your family eats, breathes, and injects, because it all affects the terrain and the health of your immune system. So freedom fighters, I want you to choose freedom over fear. I want you to choose education and empowerment. You are in control of your health, and I do not want you to forget that. Freedom over fear.
Yeah!
Over fear.
Freedom over fear! Freedom over fear!
Thank you guys.
God bless!
Thank you, Anna. Our next speaker is Dr. Julie Glass, aka Dr.